I've went for something a bit different this year because I've always had quite clean plain designs and a little bit stumped for an idea. And then I came up with this design to have a mask that looked pretty plain and pretty boring, really simple from the stands until you get up close, and then it's full of little details and cool little design. We've got a little WhatsApp group going where it's between me, Richard Day, and a guy called Alex Birch. Richard's from Puckstop, he's a sponsor, a good friend of mine, and Birch is a graphic designer, does a lot of sports stuff, and Birchie actually designed last year's pads, this year's pads, which you can see in the background, I think. And he actually designed all the GB masks that went to a vote this year before World Championships, and he did an unbelievable job. So I thought I might as well let him have a go at designing something for it. So I gave him my idea. I came back with this design, and straight away I loved it, but he'd put a white cage on it. And I said, no, I want a red cage. And Birchie said, no, you're not having that. So I said, no, put a red cage on, and then Richard backed me up. So we kind of ganged up on him and forced him into having a red cage, and as soon as we added that, it were perfect. So it actually didn't take much time to decide on what we were having done. Birchie and Richard then sent the design off to Chris at CT Airbrushing, who has absolutely nailed this design. It's unbelievable. I mean, you get up close. I mean, I'm sure if anyone sees it up close, they'll agree that it just looks awesome, really. My mask, I always like to link it to where I'm playing, where I'm living, and also have personal touches. So obviously, the one side we have the Devils logo on here, which is an obvious thing. We've been playing for Devils. The other side is a dragon, obviously relating to Wales. I do like the dragons on it, to be fair, quite powerful animals, quite powerful figures, and obviously it's a big thing on the Welsh flag. So yeah, I thought I'd go back to having a dragon on there, and it's a little detail, obviously my name on the chin. Chris has put little swirls into the pin as well, which adds another little effect, and there's even little tiny Cardiff Devils along the top, which you can't see until you get close. The bear on the side, I always have bears on my mask. Every single design I've had since I was about 17, I've had bears on it. Actually started, someone once told me that I looked like a polar bear, so I had a mask painted and with a polar bear design as like the main feature, and I absolutely loved it. But about 6 weeks in, it got smashed. I took a slap shot to my head right at the top. The helmet exploded, and I ended up with a plain black helmet for the next 2 or 3 years. So since then, I've either had a bear themed design, or I've had bears on my mask, and on this one it's hidden just underneath the Devils logo. The backplate, to me this year, that was my personal touch. It's pretty special, obviously. Pretty much everyone knows the big man on the back, Stitch. He's my dog. I used to have Stitch and Jake until Jake passed away, my last dog. And then this year we added even more personal touch with a little iris flower on for my grandma. And what people won't really realise is last year I had, when my grandma first got diagnosed with cancer, when she did, I thought she wouldn't even make it to the sort of last season, so I played a full year with grandma on the top of my backplate last season, and her being stubborn as she was, she lasted the full season and into pre-season this year. So when she did pass away, I asked Chris to add on a little iris flower on the backplate for me, just to have her with me a bit more during games, and it did. And what's kind of weird is he sent me a picture of the backplate with specifically the flower, and this were, I think it was a day before she actually passed away. And when I received the helmet, the first time I got to wear it was the CHL games against Mountfield, and I think she was definitely with me that weekend against them and Graz when we won both games at home. I absolutely love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's my favourite design that I've ever had, and I'm going to be pretty biased, but I think this is probably one of Chris's best designs that he's ever done on a mask. So yeah, I think Birchie, Richard and Chris have put a lot of time into it, like they always do for my stuff, and it's come out unbelievable.